It's that time, you guys, for another What's for Dinner Wednesday. What is up, you guys? Welcome back to another video, another What's for Dinner video at that. And these are some of my favorite videos, I think, to share. And that is because I love kind of giving you guys a taste of what comes out of my kitchen. I feel like some of your favorite videos are to watch my grocery hauls and my meal planning videos and see what I'm purchasing and what we're planning to make. But unless I'm filming a cooking video, you guys don't get too much to see what I actually make. So that's what I have for you guys today. Tons and tons of recipes that I'm sharing with you. But this video is actually extra special because it is in collab with Hannah over at Hannah Living Blessed. She wrote to me and asked me if I would be willing to collab with her, and I absolutely love sharing small channels that I enjoy watching. Someone who I know really strives to get their videos out and to be consistent and to always do well on YouTube. Like, I truly admire that, and she does so much of the same content. Actually, some of her best videos are clean with me's. If you're looking for cleaning and organizational motivation, I know that we're definitely coming into that time of year, but she just recently started doing grocery hauls, and you guys know that those are absolutely my favorite videos of all time. But she really does put together some great food in her kitchen, and I know that you guys are going to enjoy her. She's just very, very real. So make sure that you head over to Hannah's channel, leave that little unicorn emoji in the comments down below. Let her know that I sent you. Subscribe, show her a little bit of love, and watch her video. See what she's putting together for What's for Dinner. But otherwise, you guys, I'm super excited to share with you what I've put together in my kitchen. So let's go ahead and get started. So if you are coming over from Hannah's channel or you are just new in general, welcome. My name is Kira. I've been with my husband for 17 years now, and we have 3 beautiful children, and we are both originally from New York, me personally from Long Island. We relocated to South Carolina for a little while, and then in the past just few years, we have relocated to Texas. And we were supposed to go and visit our family in the very beginning of January for a late Christmas celebration, and with COVID, we had to postpone, and I was pretty sad that day. I made a video about it. I'll link it up above if you guys haven't seen it, just kind of explaining in a little bit more detail, but I swore I was not cooking dinner that day. This is the only takeout clip that you guys are going to see in the whole video. But like I said, I posted this picture on Instagram. So if you guys are not following me on Instagram, go over, check out 50 Shades of Mom. But I posted this picture saying that I was eating my feelings, because if I am down and out, fried chicken and ice cream is the way to my heart. And we did also get Cold Stones this night. So this is from a place called the Golden Chick. So if you're in the local San Antonio area, you may know of them because they are a chain fried chicken restaurant, but this place has just some amazing fried chicken. And like I said, that is my weakness. So we had some fried chicken. I had some mashed potatoes with the white gravy, those little corn fritters. I just love them, and a cherry Pepsi. And like I said, that was Mom's guilty pleasure, and I'm not sorry about it one bit. This was a meal that was partially planned for Paul to eat while we were away that first particular week when we were first supposed to go, and then an every plate meal that I was supposed to be making while I was packing to get ready for that canceled trip. So we ended up just kind of combining both things, throwing it together, and that's what we had for dinner this night. So those are the hot dogs that I get from Costco. They sell them in the regular aisle, but it's the actual hot dogs that they sell in the concession stand. So they are freaking amazing. I put them on a top slice bun with a little bit of the Rico's cheddar cheese, and those are the soubrette onions that I get from New York that I love so much. And then those potato wedges are actually an every plate meal. I live and die by every plate. This is not a sponsored video. I just truly enjoy them. They do sponsor some of my videos, but I enjoy them regularly anyways. And these are just like a sloppy Joe on top of potato wedges. Definitely definitely a different take on loaded, but they were just a great combination, like good sloppy potato wedges next to a really sloppy hot dog. This was super filling, super delicious, and still more perfect comfort food when you're feeling down and out. Speaking of some more comfort food, breakfast for dinner is big comfort food in our house, but sometimes we kind of get bored of the same thing. It's eggs or French toast or pancakes or something along the basic lines. And so sometimes I like to amp it up a little bit, especially if I have things in the house that I want to repurpose. I do have an entire video on how I do this process, so I'll link that for you guys so you can go ahead and check it out. But all I do is make French toast that I bread with frosted flakes. We had some frosted flakes in the house that were starting to go stale, and I didn't want that to happen, so I just crushed them up, and then, like I said, I use them as like a crust for the outside of my French toast before I grill them. You can see that it gets a little dark. It's not burnt, it's just dark because the sugary contents of the cereal, they just get like all crispy in that buttery pan that you're cooking them in, and I just love it. It makes a extra sweetness, but a crunch to French toast you would never knew that you actually really wanted. Like usually French toast is soft, but this is like a crunch you just can't deny how stinking good it is. On the side, I made those Mrs. Jones chicken sausage. I get those from Costco as well. I absolutely love them. And then I just have a banana that I cut and sliced on my plate. And this was a perfect breakfast for dinner. Now, one thing that was supposed to happen on that original trip to New York that I was not prepared to have at home was my husband's birthday. So my mom and I had like a whole big plan on what we were going to do for him had we had been in New York. But like I said, we had to postpone our trip. So I had to throw something together with things we already had in the house. And you guys, this seems complicated, but it is so stinking easy to make this chicken dish. So get ready. I'm going to explain to you how to make it. So I dice up some green onion and I mix it into some softened cream cheese. And I'll take a thin chicken cutlet and I smear some of this green onion scallion cream cheese on the inside and I roll it up. I dunk it in some egg and then I roll it in shredded cheese and crushed up Ritz cracker crumbs. So the Ritz crackers end up like being a breadcrumb and it mixes with the shredded cheese. Once I get like a good crust on it, I'll wrap it in a piece of bacon and I'll put it in a pan. Once I'm done with all of that, I take a can of chicken soup and I mix a half a can of milk into that and then I pour it over the top and bake it in the oven until the chicken is done. The bacon kind of just locks in those crumbs of the Ritz crackers and the cheese, but the cream cheese makes the chicken really tender and super flavorful. Like this is one of our favorite meals and it's what my husband requested, and most of those things I already have in the house, so it was very easy to pull that together for him. I made it with some mashed potatoes and some gravy, and then he had a strawberry shortcake dessert bar, and he was definitely a happy hubby for not being home in New York. Something that makes my kids happy, though, is when mom makes pasta. I'm pretty much a guarantee in my house that anything I put on top of some pasta, all three of my children will eat. This is my Peniel vodka. I actually shared this in the very first cookbook that I wrote with Vanessa over at Lemonade Mom and Nicole Burgess. Both of the cookbooks are linked that I've put out are in the description box below, and they're available on Amazon. But this is also one of the very first cooking videos that I ever shared. So I'll link it for you guys. I literally hate doing like sharing my old cooking videos because I feel like the quality of my videos are so much better now, but the recipes I shared in the very beginning of my channel are my absolute favorite. And Peniel vodka is super easy to make. You'd be surprised how easy it is. It's very minimal ingredients, but it's super, super delicious. I just paired that with a salad, but we usually do some kind of pasta every Friday night, and this was a Friday night that everybody was happy to come to the table for. Now, your favorite videos are my grocery hauls. I've mentioned that all the time. I can just see by the stats and the views that you guys just love grocery hauls. So you know I love wings, and I am constantly on the hunt for wings. I put them in my cart, and then they never seem to make it. And one of the times I put wings in my cart, they substituted me with chicken drumsticks. definitely not the same thing, but I had to make it work. What was I going to do with chicken in the freezer for so long? And so one day I just decided, you know what? It's nice out. Let's grill up some chicken legs. So I always boil them first because I just like to put them on the grill for char. If you put them on the grill for long periods of time, I feel like they get tough. So I boiled them until they were cooked all the way through. And then I threw that cold brew barbecue sauce from Trader Joe's on there and threw them on the grill. And ooh wee, they were so stinking good. And then I made some honey garlic carrots. I think I have a cooking video for that on my channel as well, but I literally just do honey, garlic, and butter, and I mix it in a pan on the stove, and then I add some cooked carrots, and it is so delicious. And then a little bit of white rice with butter, you guys, like a very, very simple dinner, but it was super, super good. And that cold brew barbecue sauce is amazing. Speaking of, the weather was still warm the next day, and I still had that taste of that barbecue sauce in my mouth, and I wanted more. And so we ended up doing pork spare ribs that we cooked on the grill with that same barbecue sauce. And it may look burnt to you guys, but I'm gonna be honest with you, I like my meat more on the undercooked side, so I don't do burnt, but I like a good char from the grill. So this was super tender and extremely perfectly cooked on the inside. I will say my husband is a grill master, so he usually gets everything perfectly cooked, but between that and the caramelization of that barbecue sauce on that spare rib, absolutely dynamite. And then I made my potato salad, which is another one of the recipes in that first cookbook that I talked about, and it's a loaded baked potato, bacon and cheese potato salad, and it'll absolutely blow your mind. It is so good. It is definitely one of my favorites. All right, well, I feel like I am a infomercial for my first cookbook, but this is a recipe that's in my first cookbook as well. This is my taco soup, and this time I did a little something different to it. I did a little bit of sour cream and green onion, which I always do, but then I added a little bit of those fried onions, like the kind you put on top of a green bean casserole, and wow, what like of an amp and a crunch and a kick that added. Sometimes I'll do tortilla chips, but those French fried onions were really, really good, and then I just coupled it with a salad, and I usually just put on my salad whatever we have in the house, like that's yellow tomato and romaine lettuce with some croutons and lemon poppy seed dressing and some of the candied pecans from Trader Joe's. Like, I'm actually getting hungry watching this. All this stuff sounds so, so good. All right. Again, another infomercial for my first cookbook. I guess it was kind of an inspiration, or maybe these are like all old school meals, but that is my Monte Cristo. I do have a cooking video for that as well. I can link for you again, another really, really, really old video, but I share with you guys how to make French toast and how to take that brioche French toast and turn that into a Monte Cristo, which is virtually French toast bread that you put turkey and ham and Swiss cheese on and make like a grilled cheese out of it. And I always serve it with tater tots, and then in the bowl is maple mayo. Yes, you guys heard me right. Okay, you put a little bit of mayo in there and then a few drops of maple syrup, and you stir it up, and it makes a sweetness to the mayo, and both your Monte Cristo and your tater tots get dunked into that. And I promise you, you will not be sorry. It'll be one of the best things that you put on your meal plan this week. So go ahead and check out those videos. Speaking of a video to go ahead and check out, my very best video on my channel of all time this particular holiday season, it broke 50,000 views, is my stuffing. It is my sausage stuffing recipe. It is just so good if you love sausage stuffing. And I was I was in the mood for like a mock Thanksgiving. So this was a big rotisserie chicken, not a turkey, but we did a big rotisserie chicken. I did it right in my rotisserie oven that I have from Kasori. That's linked in my Amazon store. That thing is like a godsend. And I made a rotisserie chicken, and we had mashed potatoes with gravy, and then my homemade sausage stuffing, and I steamed some broccoli. And sometimes I just like to do that in the cold months, or sometimes even like right in the middle of summer, so that it gives me all of the holiday feels. I miss Thanksgiving. It's not just for November, right? Something else that we do every single week is some kind of taco dish. Every single Tuesday we do a Taco Tuesday themed thing. So you saw the taco soup. On this night, we did nachos, just plain old regular ground beef seasoned with some taco seasoning. And then we just used some Scoops chips, melted some cheese on there, threw the meat, salsa, sour cream. I'll do guacamole, green onions. But that yellow rice, that's the Mahatma yellow rice. It comes in like really small bags, and you actually steam that in the microwave, you guys. Whoever heard of actually good rice coming out of the microwave? But you guys, this is some of the best yellow rice I have ever had. So if you have not tried it, I highly recommend that. Something you guys are going to see in an upcoming recipe video. You guys will see this on Monday. This is one of 3 recipes that I'll be sharing with you guys on Monday, but this is the French onion pork chop. It's using those fried onions I just showed you guys that I put on top of that taco soup. That's why I had some extra, but this is by far one of the easiest but yet most flavorful pork chop recipes I've ever done. It's 3 ingredients, you guys. It's literally onion dip that's already pre-made, or you can make your own, but it's onion dip and then cheddar cheese and those French fried onions. So I mean, you can't beat how easy it is. It comes out tender and so good. I made it with some scalloped potatoes and then some overly roasted zucchini, but seriously, one of the best meals you will ever have. And how can you beat something so easy? So stay tuned for that. Our next meal is one of the meals I had at my mom's, of course, being that we were celebrating Christmas. For those of you who just heard me say we canceled our trip, we did actually get to go a month later. So we just got back from that trip. It was a crazy trip with blizzard snow and all of that. But while we were snowed in, we got to make some good old Italian food. So my mom made a big old pile of meat sauce, and we had some ravioli, and she made meatballs and sausage. I'm not a huge fan of that, but she knows I love braciole, so she put that inside of the sauce, and we had garlic bread. She made chicken parm, and I had extra ragut on the side. Like, this is a typical Italian meal for us, at least in our family, and definitely one of my favorites of the whole meals that we had while I was at my mom's. This is a recipe that I can kind of link the video for my inspiration up above because I shared it not too long ago. It probably looks burnt to you guys. I promise you it is not burnt. It is just extra crispy. Like I said, I like a little bit of char on the outside, but no burnt like food for me. It has to be super tender. But I mentioned to you guys that we had those veggie potato chips, the ghosts and bats, that were left over from Halloween, and I just didn't know what to do with those chips. So we pulverized them inside of a food processor and added a little bit of ranch dressing like mix, the ranch dressing powder mix, and then made a coating for our chicken like breadcrumbs. And then we just fried them like you would fry chicken cutlets. And it was so super delicious, you guys. The potato chips just add a little bit of a salty factor, but veggie chips aren't overwhelmingly salty, but I do feel like the ranch dressing is. So those things kind of coupled together just made a very different flavor to the chicken. So just kind of a way to not waste things in the house. I hate waste. Same thing. I've done a potato stick chicken before because, it's just a way to use things that you have in the house instead of going to purchase something else. And so I did that with a little bit of mac and cheese. You guys, I actually had mac and cheese and I ate that and I enjoyed it. It was kind of like a inspiration from being at my mom's. She made like plain old Kraft macaroni and cheese, and I don't eat Kraft. Like, we only eat Annie's. It's what we've been eating for like 15-16 years, so my kids don't even usually touch regular Kraft mac and cheese. But it was very nostalgic to see my mom at the stove like stirring the big old blue box of Kraft mac and cheese like it was like when I was a little kid, and I ended up putting some on my plate, and it was rich and creamy and yummy. And like I said, I'm not one for mac and cheese, but I threw it on my plate this day and it was super good. And then I also made that pickle salad from Costco before that went bad, and I put that alongside of that. So that was what we had for dinner this night. Now we were officially back home from my mom's. You guys saw the chicken recipe that we just did, but now, like, the whole idea of unpacking after being gone for so long is always super crazy to me. So I always do crock pot meals. My first night home, I did that chicken, but I knew I wasn't going to be overwhelmingly in a giant mess. It was going to be slow going for unpacking. But by the next day, when everything was everywhere and I was trying to put stuff away, the crock pot was my friend, and I made a pot roast, because how do you beat a good, yummy, delicious pot roast that just cooks all day and falls apart? So I went ahead and put the pot roast in, cooked it all day, made some mashed potatoes, steamed some broccoli. My son Mason is absolutely obsessed with anything that you put gravy on. He wants some kind of mashed potato and gravy, or meal with gravy, at least once a week. And his eyes light up when you tell him you're making gravy. Like, he just loves it. So he totally devoured everything. He just enjoys, like I said, gravy. So we had the pot roast with the mashed potatoes and the broccoli and the gravy, and everybody enjoyed it. And now you guys are seeing this, like I said, it's Wednesday, right? So this was yesterday's Taco Tuesday. So you're seeing this in almost the most live time possible. And I made a taco bake. I've shared a video for this, so I'll link that for you guys as well. This was a food hack video where I shared all different taco hacks. And this is just you using a soft taco shell and almost making taco lasagna in a pie plate. And OMG, you guys, I just put a little bit of refried beans on the bottom, and then I sprinkle the ground beef on top, and then I put a little bit of salsa, and then some shredded cheese, and then I repeat that again, and then the very top one just has salsa and cheese, and you bake it in the oven, and the oils from the meat like crisp up the bottom layer of that tortilla, and it makes like a hard shell. So it's almost like the bottom of a pie crust, and then you slice it like a pie and put it on the plate. And I just put fresh tomatoes and green onion. And sure, you can tell, and every half of these clips have green onion on it, but I absolutely love them. But the tomatoes, the green onion, the sour cream, the chips, like that is what we consider a typical Taco Tuesday in our house. But that, you guys, was it for another What's for Dinner. I apologize if you are one of those who just love watching somebody like cook alongside of the recipe that they're sharing, but I do have a ton of recipe videos on my channel, and I really do just like sharing exclusively recipe videos. Otherwise, if I include everything in a What's for Dinner, I really would never really be able to spend time with my family or enjoy cooking in the kitchen if I was always focused on the camera. This is my life. Anything to do with food is just been my passion for all of my life. And so just to be able to take a glimpse of it, even if it's just a photo, and share with you what I put together, it's something that I enjoy. So I hope you guys enjoyed it too. And if you did, make sure to hit that thumbs up button or subscribe if you are new. Don't forget to go over and check out Hannah at Hannah Living Blessed and show her some love. I love you guys so, so much, and I will see you guys again tomorrow in another video. Bye, you guys.